Yeah. Alrighty. Can we talk about the president's health for a moment? First of all, before I even get into that, let me tell you that prior to the 2021 elections, there was a young man. He calls himself a family member. He's not. He is the quintessential imposter. I mean, this guy is bad news. You remember him. His name is Cosmo Mumba. One of the most wayward deviants you have ever met in your life. One of the most delusional chaps that is completely bereft of reason and balanced thinking. I mean, this guy is lost. I mean, this is one sick puppy, let me tell you. So this Cosmo Mumba he made it his mission before the 2021 elections. You remember, he held a press conference that was funded by the PF. He held a press conference and he announced that HH was gravely ill. I mean, intensive care ill. This is Cosmo Mumba announcing this. He was on social media, you know, and he was given coverage. Most of these online platforms, they gave him coverage, and they were trying to disseminate and peddle this lie that HH was gravely ill. And Cosmo Mumba says we need to pray for HH as a nation because he's standing at death's door and, you know, he's very sick and blah, 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 blah. Do you remember how HH responded to that? Tell me if you remember. What did the very next day? Of course, now you have to respond to things almost in real time. But in those days, you know, you could wait a few hours or something. But now, because information moves at lightning speed, my advice is always that when you do rebut, when you push back or when you retort or when you respond or when you answer, you must respond there and then. When you get information and you want to rebut, you want to push back, don't wait a day. Immediately, boom, you respond. And I'm talking about politics, because in politics, it's very, very easy to mislead the masses. So, do you remember, tell me in the comments, do you remember what HH did in response to that lie? In response to the falsehood that this Cosmo Mumba, when I say his name, my blood curdles. I mean, my skin crawls, my hair turns straight if it's curled or curled if it's straight. Stacy says, no, I don't remember that. Well, Stacy, I'll tell you. Yes, here it is. I'll pin it. I'll pin that. Can I pin that? Is there a pin thingy? Pin this comment. Can you see that? Paul, Timothy, Ev, Paul, Timothy. Guys, could you just do me a favor? Could you just like Paul Timothy's comment there? HH responded by riding a bicycle. He didn't even say anything. He just started riding a bicycle. He didn't sit and address Cosmo Mumba, that vagabond, that gnat, that bottom feeder, that leech, that moocher, that despot, that has been, that Neanderthal. Don't get me started now. HH just rode a bike to demonstrate he's fine. He was okay. That one act dispelled that rumor that Cosmo Mumba was trying to spin. And the people said, well, HH is riding a bicycle. In Zambia, we say bicycle. He's fine. He's okay. Now, does the president get sick? Of course he does. Are there times that the president is unwell? Of course that happens. Well, how do you know that? Because he's human. We all do that. Here recently, some PF guys were trying to peddle another lie that HH was gravely ill. What did HH do a few days ago? He conducted a massive rally. Where was that rally? Tell me in the comments where it was. Here recently. It was just a day ago, a couple of days ago, barely 48 hours ago. You know, this rumor was trying to make traction on the internet, in the internet space. And what did HH do? He held a massive, mammoth, gargantuan, colossal, leviathan of a rally in, where's that? In Choma. Yeah, that was Choma. Just immediately dispelled all those rumors. Now, let me echo something that Antonio Mwanza has just said. And I agree with Antonio Mwanza. Antonio Mwanza was basically saying, look, guys, as the opposition, we are supposed to provide credible checks and balances. We are supposed to engage in real politics, not politics of flights of fancy, not politics of innuendo, not politics of fabrication. Why? If you engage in fabrication, you lose credibility. Understand that. You lose credibility. Your legitimate standing as an opposition leader becomes tepid. It becomes diluted. We need opposition politics. This is a democracy. This is not a totalitarian state. You, me, we don't want an authoritarian rule. We don't want that. We want a president that serves the country, a president that recognizes tenure. Democracy. But democracy requires dissenting voices, divergent views. Now, if you're going to be spending your energy, if you're going to be expending your energy on falsehoods, innuendo, lies, fabrication, where then is your place as an opposition leader? Because here it is, you've spent all your time fabricating stuff. Sometimes we don't even know what you're saying, whether it's what you're saying is true or not. I mean, Emmanuel Propaganda Mwamba has gotten to a place now where you literally question everything he posts. When Emmanuel Mwamba posts something, you first of all, you question it. Is this real? Is this true? Is this propaganda? That's not checks and balances. You are diluting your credibility as opposition when you engage in frivolous talk. Like, no, the president is gravely ill when he's not. Of course, it's different if he actually is. It's different if he actually is, because the president's health is directly linked to the nation as a functioning country. A country is directly linked to the health and the functionality of the president. So if indeed the president is unwell, which in this case currently is not true, the president is fine. He's okay. He's all right. I'm not saying he's an immortal human being. No, he's not. He's just like you and me. He is touched, the Word of God says, with the feelings of our infirmity. He's like you. He's like me. Remember when Batman asked Superman that question? Do you remember the question that Batman asked Superman? Remember that question? Do you bleed? He bleeds, just like you and me. But let's keep it factual. Okay? Can we do that? Can we do that? Can we agree to do that? Can we agree to keep it factual? Yeah? I think so. Yeah. All righty. Well, hey, I got to rock and roll. I got a meeting to run to.